What's going on, Richard?
Dude, I can hear you way better now.
Oh, okay. Welcome.
How are you, man?
Good. How are you doing? Sorry about the
Good,
technical
good.
difficulties. You're looking very
Awesome.
handsome. Thanks for dressing up for the podcast.
My favorite shirt, man.
I like
I
it.
put a hat on
We
and everything.
so
So
why don't you tell everybody where you're from?
yeah, so I live in Fruitland, Idaho, right on the border of like Idaho and Oregon, so right next to Ontario, Oregon, about an hour west of Boise, Idaho.
Nice. I hear it smells like shit up there. Just kidding.
Ontario does, man.
This is my first podcast. I appreciate you joining me and helping me work out the kinks. I'm even sweating a little bit, just a little bit. I used to be able to see myself in full screen, but when you join, now it's just you. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
The pleasure's all mine, man.
I'm hoping to get used to doing this and making something happen with it. I'm not exactly sure what that's going to be yet, but fly by the seat of my pants and maybe it'll turn into something. Maybe we'll just have fun bullshitting. I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. Either way, it doesn't matter.
Tell me, I've known you. You're my brother-in-law for everybody watching. I met Richard, what, about 12 years, 10 years ago,
About
something
10
like
years,
that.
10 years
10
ago,
years
yeah.
ago.
Yep.
You work for the Department of Corrections. You were a former SWAT operator. You're an investigator now. You're married to my sister, who's also was a SWAT operator, and you guys do the same thing. So how did you get into Department of Corrections?
Yeah, prior to me getting into like the DOC and stuff like that, I was a hotshot wildland firefighter. My dad worked for the department, and being a firefighter, I was gone all the time. And I had a young boy at home and a wife and all that stuff, and I was gone literally like half the year. And so with no insurance, no retirement, nothing like that. So I figured I'd always work at the prison for the benefits, being home, vacation, the 9 to 5 kind of job. And it's the best paying job where I'm from. And it doesn't smell like shit over there. But yeah, man. So,
How old were you
it's
when
kind
you
of funny.
started?
Huh?
How old were you when you started?
Man, I was 24
20,
years old, man.
24, no prior law enforcement, no prior military, just threw you in it. What was the selection process like for getting hired on at the prison?
Yeah, so for me, it was a little bit different. I did an interview. It was like a pan like not just a panel interview. There was a panel, but then there was a like five of us interviewing all at the same time.
Oh wow.
And we all have to answer the same question, like
At
just
the
down
same
the
time in
line.
the same room?
Yep, yep,
Oh, that was weird.
yep.
So did you
Yeah.
piggyback off of other people's questions and you're like, that didn't fucking work. So I'm gonna do something different.
Yeah, it was definitely interesting. And then there's like a little group activity deal at the end. And then they do the background, and my background didn't clear.
Uh-oh.
Um,
What
on
were you
my
doing?
on my record, it says that I did jail time twice, which I
Oh
never I
yeah?
never had. I've
You
never
got
been
that
in jail.
expunged, or
Oh
how'd
man,
you clear
so
that up? What were you arrested for supposedly?
so both times, one was a group of friends and I were coming back from, so I grew up LDS, so we're
Okay.
Mormon. So a
All
group
right.
of us were coming back from what they call state dances. And so we were coming back from a dance, and we were kids. So shoot, maybe I was freshman, sophomore, somewhere around there. And I think I was a sophomore. And we were all just like talking on what it would be like to slash some tires and break some windows and, stupid kid
So you
stuff.
did the crime, you just weren't actually arrested?
No. So we go to a junkyard and we're like, hey, we can't get in trouble for destroying cars that are getting crushed.
Yeah, trespass.
We didn't think about it like that. And so we slashed some tires, break some windows. What we didn't know is the junkyard was also a mechanic's shop. And the
Ah.
cars that we hit happened to be people's cars that were getting worked on.
Oh, you bastard.
And then
Oh,
somebody ended up,
jeez.
one of our friends, man, turned us in. And
Your own friend turned you in?
yeah, yep,
Oh,
our
what a
own
guy.
friend turned us
So
in.
did
I
he
was
just feel bad or was he in trouble for something else and trying to get out of it?
Nah,
Oh
he was
no.
just feeling bad. Just felt
Huh.
bad,
What a
man.
guy.
And cops came to my door. My dad was a reserve
Whatever happened to
officer.
him? Your friend. Did you stay
He
friends
got
with him?
no,
Did you guys beat
he
his
got off
ass?
scot clean, man. So on that
Where-
one, I was on probation for a year and had to do a lot of community service. And then the second one, this one was not cool, but I was a senior in high school in the lunch line, and somebody asked me for a little, like at the time, 25-cent pie, like those little 25-cent apple pies. And he was on the outside of me. So I gave it to him and he stole it. He stuck it in his pocket, never paid for it. I went up to pay for my food. And yeah, man, they took me to court for it, and I had to pay $250 in fines and do some more community service.
So you did get arrested twice, and
Uh,
your
yeah,
background came
man.
out the proper way.
No, the background said
They
I was
found
in
out
jail,
about it.
man. Said I
Oh,
did
oh,
jail
you never
time.
did jail time. So you were a
No,
minor
never,
and
never,
okay.
man. And so both times, yeah. So then back to how the hiring process worked out for me. 2 years go by, and after my first interview, and I'm home on R&R from fires, and I get a phone call from some lady that used to work at the prison, and she's like, "Hey, the guy that did your background 2 years previously had screwed up, and you're clear now.
Oh, so
So
they
you
were
want to come?"
desperate.
Yeah, they
They
were.
needed
Yeah,
some
they
people.
were.
They're like,
And
hey, this guy,
so
he stole the pack of gum and slashed some tires. He can work here.
yeah. So she's like, "You want to come in for your second interview?" And I was like,
Yeah,
"Sure."
buddy.
And so I went in, and you had to bring your criminal record with you. So I went down to the courthouse and grabbed it, and I go in there, and thank God for me, one of the assistant soups used to work for that same county that I allegedly did jail time for, and he worked in the jail, and he's, no, we never had a minor ever come to through while he was there.
Yeah.
So he was like, no, this isn't right. But yeah.
So
So
you get hired on and you just go through how long's your boot camp or what is it?
yep. Yeah, so basic corrections course, BCC, it's changed. Now it's you have a year of probation basically. The academy for me, I had to go over to Salem, about 7 hours from where I'm at, maybe 6 hours, and go through a 5 week on campus academy. And then you come back to your institution and you have a field training officer for the next 2 weeks. And then you have what they call a red book, where you have to like do all of the activities that you're going to be doing as a correctional officer for the.
FTEP for the
Yep,
police department. Yeah.
yep, yep.
So what's it
Mm.
like when you are cleared and you're working by yourself? Are you scared initially?
Yeah,
I would
absolutely,
be.
man.
That's
Yeah,
freaking
100%,
terrifying.
man. It's I'm a 24-year-old kid that I'm in shape, like
Yeah.
cardio shape, but I'm not a big guy by no means. And then you got
Do the
it's a whole new world, man. You got
obviously the inmates, they know you're new guy. So did they fuck with you more? Kind of test their boundaries? What are some
oh
of the
yeah.
things they do?
Yeah, there's always like little things, right? Like they'll try to sit more at a table than they're allowed to, or go in and out of their cells when they're not allowed to, stuff like that. Nothing too crazy. The craziest one that I could think of when I was new was somebody, they hinted jokingly, but they were testing the waters if I would bring drugs in for them.
So you
And
did, right?
so
But is that
there's
pretty
ways.
common though? Is it pretty common
Yeah,
to have people bring drugs in? What's the benefit? Are the people on the outside paying them or people on the inside? What would be the benefit for an officer to do that?
money.
Yeah.
It's
Money.
everything.
Any
I
idea?
don't
Like,
I don't know, to tell you the
yeah.
truth, man. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head anymore, but I would guess that whatever
I
the
mean,
street value is, man, I would almost quadruple it inside.
yeah, but still, it's like for a really good job for somebody to bring in something, and it's even if you're getting 5 grand, yeah, that's a lot of money, but to lose your career over something like that is insane. And I'm
Yeah,
surprised people do that, not because they're not shady, but just because the risk versus reward, getting arrested or the amount of money, getting fired, just losing your job, it seems like it that wouldn't be a big issue, but I guess,
No,
or the orts to pay a little bit more. Or I don't. That
well,
probably doesn't even have anything to do with it, really.
no. Some of it is they get pinned. What I mean by that is you, a new officer or even a senior officer, will do a favor for an inmate or adult in custody in Oregon.
Yeah,
And what I mean favor, something small,
yeah,
like letting them go into a wrong cell, which is completely against the rules and not okay.
yeah.
And then that adult in custody would blackmail them, right? Hey man, you bring these in, or I'm
We're
going to
gonna
tell him.
tell.
Hey, you
Wow, you
bring
do
this
them a
in,
favor, and then it turns around and bites you in the
you
ass.
bring this in, or we're going to kill your family.
Wow. Yeah,
So then people feel trapped. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So there's that avenue. The other avenue is the money, man.
yeah, yeah.
So
I guess some people are hard up, especially in this economy. Talking to you, Kamala. Just kidding. uh,
yep.
that's pretty funny. Bonnie, my sister, she also works there, and you guys were both SWAT operators. Is that pretty hard to get on? Like for
Yeah.
a guy, decent shape. Is there a lot of people trying out? How's that process?
Yeah, man. I'll clarify real fast. Bonnie was an operator, dude. I was the commander. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Yeah, you started as the commander. That's impressive.
No, that would be cool. No, started as an operator. Yeah. So the process for that, man, and it has changed over the years. But when I started, I got on as soon as my year was up, which was, I was just super lucky, super thankful, perfect timing, in shape, and all that stuff. But you had to run a half a mile, get over a 6 foot wall, run 5 flights of stairs, bear crawl 40 yards, and then do a 150-pound dummy drag for 20 yards. And you had to do it all with a 40-pound vest on.
Nice.
Yeah. And then you had to do the shooting portion of it. You had to shoot the pistol, a shotgun, and then the
Do you
mini
guys do
14.
range before that? Or corrections officers trained in firearms? Like,
Yep. Yeah. So when we go, you can call it that, I guess. When we go to that basic corrections course, BCC,
yeah.
they run you through range school. At the very minimum, you qualify with the pistol. And
Do you guys have an annual qualification, or is it just as far as
yeah,
the
so
corrections deputies?
yep. And it's pretty basic. It's at the yeah. Hold on.
You need to update that camera. You need to
Oh yeah, I was getting
just
a phone
kidding.
call, man.
Oh, don't ruin my podcast, bro. You
Jacking
gotta
me up. No, I hung up
do not
on.
disturb.
Yeah, so the qualification is pretty simple. You start at the 10-yard line, technically start at the 15-yard line, and then they say go, and then you move up to the 10, and you shoot 3 rounds behind the barrel, one strong side, one support side, one over the top, and then you holster and everything, and then you move up to the 7-yard line, and you have to shoot 2 rounds center mass, and you have to do that 3 times from the holster. Then you move up to the 5, and this is where your reload drill is. So you have to shoot 2 rounds, reload, shoot 6. And then you move up to the 3-yard line and you shoot 3 rounds strong side, 3 rounds support side, single-handed fire, and then you move up to touching. And
Yeah,
you have
that's
to
the
take a
same
step
thing
back.
we did. And I was a reserve deputy, and that sounds like the same
Yeah,
qualification that we used to have to do. Pretty basic,
yeah.
fairly
Yep.
easy, but they've actually changed it. The last time I did it, I forget. Like, you used to have to get them all within a certain ring, and now as long as it
Paper.
hits the target, not the paper, but within the target portion of it, you don't have to hit the inner ring anymore. I was like, oh, they lowered those standards. you
Oh
know
yeah, man, they always do. No, when I got on SWAT, you had to shoot. When you tried out, they just scored you, whatever your score was, right? Because it goes into your overall score to get picked up. But when you went to basic, you had to shoot a perfect. You had to shoot a 125. And if you threw
Nice.
one around, you get kicked out.
You're a SWAT operator, and then you've left that. Now you're doing a little bit of investigation stuff. You co-own a cycling gym with, you guys do what, cycling there? It's called Be More Cycling. Out in, what city is it in?
Yeah, definitely wouldn't call it a city. It's a small town of Ontario, Oregon. But
Okay.
yeah, in Ontario, in the household is co-ownership, but Bonnie, my wife, does
She's
95% of it's her passion. And yeah, in the studio.
How many people come to class?
Yeah, so we have 12 bikes. So it's indoor spin. Classes range anywhere from 4 to 12. And then just a really cool atmosphere. And then they also do yoga and Iron Mat. She calls it Iron Mat. It's low, like low weight body training stuff. And then we
Nice.
just started hosting breathwork there.
What
Breathwork,
what's
man.
what's that?
Man, breathwork is, let me tell you what, breathwork, I have recently learned about breathwork, and it is manipulating your breath, realistically going in and out in different variances of speed and the amount. So you could go 4 in, 4 out. You go 4 in, hold 4, out 4, hold 4. You go 4 in, 8 out, or just breathe a little bit faster. And it's messing with your, it's, I don't want to say messing with, but it's getting you more in tune or getting you into a state of mind that you could dive into yourself a little bit. It helps relax you. It helps with depression. It helps with anxiety. It helps clear your mind of stuff. It centers you some more. It's been going around for thousands of years. It's getting to be a way more popular nowadays. A lot of people are using it. Doctors are using it, but we've done it the last 2 months, and each time we've had about 30 people show up, and
Oh wow.
we're doing somatic breath work right now. So shout out to Exhale Boise. We
Nice.
had them come over and do it. It's been good. It's been good. It's sold out both months, and then we're having it again October 29th. People seem to enjoy it. There's a lot of crying because you're releasing emotions. Somatic breath work is the first 30 minutes is getting you into a state of a fight or flight.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second 30 minutes is way more slow down, way more relaxed, almost like a meditation type of thing. But
Mostly women, mostly guys. What's the
yeah, I would say it's mostly women right now, but that's probably because our clientele with the spin and the yoga and stuff is mostly women. Last night we had, like I said, 30 people
Oh
and
wow. You
four
guys
or
did a
five.
class last night?
Yeah, and
Oh,
eight,
that's
eight,
right.
eight men showed
Nice.
up. So it was cool.
Wow.
It's always good to see some
What
guys
kind of
show up.
what kind of guys are showing up to breath work?
Man, we got the spectrum, man. It's all over. So we got one guy that is in high school. He's a wrestler in high school. And then we got retired correction officers, retired military people, and then ex SWAT members.
Nice.
Uh, just some, and then your normal guys that aren't in law enforcement, just
Those
construction worker guy.
normies.
Those normies,
Those
man.
regular people.
Yeah, yeah. So it's cool, man. It's growing. It's a big thing right now. It's starting to come full circle in the United States, it seems like. So
That's
I
awesome.
recommend it from anybody. First time you do it, it's not going to be easy. I can promise you that, but
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah, I've done breath work. I went to a retreat down in Costa Rica, and
Oh,
yeah, yeah, maybe you've
I
heard
think
of it. It's
I think I was there with you, buddy.
yeah, that's right. And yeah, breath work is absolutely amazing. The first time I ever did it, I had no idea what to expect. I was laying there and breathing, and all of a sudden I'm like, there's tears coming down the sides of my eyes. I'm like, what the hell is going on? And yeah, that went on for quite a while, and started seeing things, and my hands
Yeah.
started cramping up, and I it was the most incredible thing I ever did. I'm like, holy crap, I can't believe I can get high off of air. And it was, yeah, pretty incredible. I highly recommend it for anybody. But that's awesome. You guys are doing it. I hope you guys continue that because it's definitely needed, especially for guys doing it. Yeah.
For
So
sure, man. I did a paper a long time ago on like hypervigilance in law enforcement and first responders. And what I learned through the state of being in hypervigilance your whole life, man, it just puts a lot of stress on your body. You can't really just walk away from it and leave it at work. Everybody thinks that you can. And at some point, your brain will be in that state forever. So it is breath work is a way to reverse that a little bit, and it gets you back, your nervous system back in line with, I guess, like normal, who you are, relax a little bit.
yeah,
I
I
think
need
it's a
to.
huge benefit for anybody, but especially first responders, vets, military people, anybody.
Yeah, for sure. I need to definitely do it on the regular. I, after my retreat, I went to a retreat in December, and I was doing it quite a bit, and it really helped. But you just get caught back up in life and busy, and you don't make it a priority, but really should.
Yeah,
So
no, 100%. But you already know it's just like anything, right? Going to the gym or, hey, I'm going to eat
yes,
healthy. I'm going to get on a diet. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. It's showing up and making that time every day or every other day or once a week or whatever it is it's showing up is the hardest part. Like showing up to the gym is the hardest part. And once you're there, it's easy. So showing
yeah,
up in a place where you could do breath work, if that's in your garage or your bedroom or somewhere else, like showing up is the hardest part. But yeah, man, you already know. It's nice when it's over, when you're done with it.
yeah. I'm gonna get back into it. Things are slowing
Yeah.
down a little bit for me right now, thank goodness. So this isn't my full-time job. I hope it becomes my full-time job because I love it.
Yeah.
That's my dream. Right on, man. Hey, I don't want to keep you all night. I appreciate the time. We'll do this again soon. And I just a big shout out to you. Thank you so much for being my first guest, Richard Moore from Ontario.
Fruitland, Idaho, man.
Fruitland.
Fruitland, Idaho.
Fruitland,
I don't want to
Idaho.
be Ontario, Oregon. No, man, this was a pleasure. It was all mine. Seriously, it was awesome.
Right on. Thank you very much. And we'll have you on again soon.
Yep, looking forward to it, man.
All right. See ya.